Hello everybody, Joel here from Golf Monthly, and as you can see I've got my hands on the new Spieth 3 golf shoe. Now I've followed the journey of Under Armour in the golf shoe market over the last few years. I was flown out to France to the European Tour Institute to meet JJ Rivet, who's the biomechanical expert who was consulted with in designing the very first Under Armour golf shoes. They take a very scientific approach, and there's a lot of design features based on his research in the golf swing. He works with a lot of elite players incorporated into this shoe to maximize performance, and I really get that. Under Armour, going into a new market, they didn't want to do it half-heartedly. They wanted to do it properly, consult with the experts and design a shoe that offered the best performance. And while the original Under Armour shoes did that, they did kind of lose out in other areas. For me, the initial models weren't especially comfortable, and there were some other issues as well. But every year, Under Armour golf shoes get better and better. And the big question is, has the Spieth 3 finally nailed it? Has it finally covered everything off? Is it finally the best of everything? And is it one of the best golf shoes on the market amongst all the brands? That's a really big question, and it's one I wanted to try and answer in this video. Love to know what you think. Do you like the look of these Spieth 3 golf shoes? Will you be considering them in 2019? Comment on the video, like the video. There's a lot of design enhancements Under Armour have made with this shoe in conjunction with the man himself, Jordan Spieth, 3-time major champion, who's heavily influential in the design of this golf shoe. He wanted it to be lighter, he wanted it to have a more trainer-like look and feel. I think you'll agree it definitely achieves that. It's actually 2 ounces lighter, so it does feel a lot lighter when you pick it up. It does feel very lightweight. And the look of it is still very trainer-like, I think you'll agree. There's still quite a lot going on visually. You can see you've got some lines here and you've got some perforation details. While it only comes in this all-white colourway, you'll notice that more of this smart weave section, so it's that material kind of section that's made of small TPU threads that offer a little bit more support and save weight as well. More of those sections have been incorporated into the rest of the upper, so you've got some on the forefoot going across here and in the toe section as well. So that's how they've saved weight without sacrificing stability and performance. And performance is really the key aspect of this shoe. That's what it's really all about. And a lot of that comes down to the outsole. Apologies, it's a little bit muddy, but I have been testing it thoroughly over the last few hours. You'll see we've got this firmer carbon fibre section here on the outside of the shoe, because that's when you swing back, you want to have some resistance there in the backswing to help you use the ground a bit more effectively and push off from that section during the swing. And then it's softer on the inside. All this grey section is a little bit softer, and that's to help to get into the ground a little bit more during the swing and help you use it, get a bit more ground reaction force and more energy, and therefore more distance, more stability and more control as well. And the other thing that Under Armour have done with this shoe is there's a new cleat design, this RS2 cleat. You can see it's a bit more spread out. There's kind of got fingers on it that spread out rather than the old cleat design on Spieth 2, which for me, wearing them over a longer period of time, did have a tendency to bend. Down the middle, they kind of bent, they almost snapped off, which I wasn't a big fan of, and they kind of got stuck under my feet sometimes. So glad that they've changed the design of this cleat to make it a bit more durable, but also a little bit softer, more flexible, and it should make it a bit more effective at using the ground during the swing. The other thing to talk about with this shoe, it's got Gore-Tex membrane in it, so it's got excellent waterproof protection while being very breathable as well. So water's not getting in, but water vapor, excess sweat, etc. is getting out. There's some other changes that I've noticed compared to Spieth 2. The tongue is very different. It's thinner, but it's still got a fair amount of padding. You can see it's kind of got this triangular design here that I guess helps it stop moving from side to side, gives you better coverage on top of your foot. So I like that. Like I mentioned, visually there's quite a lot going on here, but I think they've done it in a more subtle way. It does look a little bit more appealing on my eye than Spieth 2. It only comes in this white colourway, which I don't mind because I think white golf shoes are the most neutral. They go with the most clothing outfits. When you start doing different colours, you're not going to be necessarily wearing them as much. So I'm a big fan of that. And I've been testing this shoe over the last few hours here at Burley Park Golf Club. It's a beautiful day. Hit lots of different shots with it. And look, generally, this is a very, very good golf shoe. It's one of the best I've ever worn. Right, there's no two ways about that. It's very, very stable. It's actually surprisingly soft, not necessarily underfoot. It's fairly soft underfoot, but especially around the ankle. You can see how thick the padding is here around the ankle section, especially at the back. And that is really providing that soft, snug feeling as soon as you put your feet in. I really enjoyed that. Did seem to come up a little bit big, maybe half a size big, so make sure obviously you try them on before you buy a pair. But the one thing I really like about these shoes, arguably more than any other shoe in the market, is that combination of grip and stability. I really do feel like I have a strong connection with the ground when wearing this shoe. It's obviously something that's quite difficult to measure without using force plates and things like that, but for me, I just feel like I can really use the ground during the swing. I feel like I get the most back when I'm wearing this shoe. Obviously, there are some excellent other stable shoes on the market. I'm thinking of Tour S, which is probably a little bit heavier than this shoe. This one definitely feels a bit lighter, but you know, it's got some flexibility there in the forefoot when you're walking, so it's a very comfortable shoe to walk in. My only bugbear, and this is what I would say is the reason that Under Armour haven't quite nailed it with this shoe, is the addition of the smart weave sections in the front of the upper. History tells me that the smart weave sections do get muddy easily and they are very difficult to clean. You know, my Under Armour Spieth 2s, I'll show you what they look like now. Obviously I've been wearing them over winter, over a longer period of time, but they do get muddy very easily and it is very difficult to get off. I actually scuffed the front of this shoe accidentally when I was walking from my car to the golf course, and I got a bit of mud on the smart weave section there on the toe, and it just doesn't come off. I just think with more of this on the shoe, it's going to get even muddier quicker, and therefore it's going to be even more difficult to keep clean over time, especially here in the UK when it does get quite wet and muddy even in the summer months. Don't get it wrong, you know, out of the box it's one of the best looking golf shoes on the market, but for £170 you want it to be looking pristine for as long as possible, and I think with the addition of this smart weave elsewhere on the shoe, it's going to be more difficult to do that. Look, that's my only complaint. Generally I was a really big fan of this golf shoe. I love the lightweight feel, nice soft padding around the ankle and a little bit underfoot as well. Really nice fit. I like the new tongue design. Definitely didn't move around as much. The laces provide a really snug fit over the top of your shoe. It's very close, and it's definitely one of the best golf shoes on the market in 2019 for sure, but not quite perfect. So maybe next year, Spieth 4, if it comes, they'll address this. Obviously, look, I haven't tested this over a long period of time, so this is just me predicting what I think will happen with this smart weave section here on the upper. Obviously, it's got some mud on it already, so I'm just kind of basing it on that. And my Spieth 2s, which do get muddy on the top there as well, especially with mud splashing on top. So just something to look out for and bear in mind if you're considering buying a pair of new golf shoes and the Spieth 3. But if you are looking for a performance golf shoe, this is definitely one of the best on the market. So give it a try. Would love to know what you think about these golf shoes. But for now, from a very sunny Burley Park Golf Club here in Stamford, it's goodbye.